My name is Michael Ferrer, no middle initial, 62 years old. Legacy is what you leave behind. I leave young people who've grown, young people who have survived drug addiction in their families, domestic violence, who are now saying to those people, you don't dictate who I am. In New York, the gangs were just down the street. The gangs were hungry. The gangs were pushing us to join. And I was only about 9 years old when my brother Louis was 2-3 years older than me. And I didn't know it at the time, but he joined the gang as part of a deal where I didn't have to join the gang. One day he decided, and his friends decided, to rob Macy's department store. So he did it, and they caught my brother. And he went to court, and the next thing I knew, he talked to me and said, you know, you got nothing to worry about. They're not coming after you. They're not gonna come talk to you. He said, you won't be seeing me for a while. And then my mom said, I'm not losing another kid to the gangs. So we moved to Lorain, Ohio, where my grandmother was. I just didn't want to let my brother down. So I was 11, 12 years old, didn't get into any trouble, went to school, graduated from high school, went off to Bowling Green State University. And it came to the 4th year, and I had 1 semester to go to graduate, and I panicked. On Friday, I was on a bus to Fort Benning, Georgia. I was now in the military with 1 semester to go. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually had a job when I left the military, paying $75,000, $80,000 a year. I made it. I'm doing good. And then I get a call one day from a friend who says, I'm opening up a youth center, man. I could really use your help. It's $20,000 a year as opposed to $80,000. And I really want to take it. I said, it's working with gang kids. I said, I've never done that. I just really, I really want to do that. I went to the Workforce Development Agency, and I said to them, I want to do a training program, but I only want to work with gang kids and any kids that have been kicked out of all your programs.
So he was running a youth summer theater program. His photographer had quit, and I was doing photography at the time. So at the last minute, he hired me because he wanted it to be like a real production that they would feel proud of. So I worked with him on that.
So now here I was. I went to the 2 gangs in the neighborhood. I asked for permission for the youth center to be declared a neutral site, so there could be no fights there. The gangs show up the first day. They had been kicked out of their programs for other reasons. You know, they don't have a work ethic, those type of things. So I turned it into a theater program. Never told them it was an employment training program, it was theater. In the mornings, we would do voice lessons. We would talk, and then I had 2 scribes that would be writing scenes. So we had to find ways to get all of this into a performance. So we were writing, we design a set, and then they start building the set. They're learning their mathematical skills. They have to try out for parts. They all tried out, so now they're reading, they're projecting, they're convincing, they're learning how to play the game that they don't know they have to play yet to just survive through school. The newspaper headlines were all reading, you know, step play, getting ready for the Palace Theater, police are expected, you know. I mean, they were just saying it was gonna be a gang fight. And I would tell you, out of the 1,700 seats at the Palace Theater was full. And that performance was so mind-boggling that it then went on for the next 14 years.
Mike was way ahead of the curve. Kids were engaged, they were making decisions, they were doing the leading and the adults were facilitating the kids leading. And Mike was just a naturally brilliant facilitator of that kind of process. He's gonna challenge the way we've done things. He's not a status quo person, but is a true advocate for kids.
I met Mike when I was about 15. I was in his program for 2 years, and then I I went to high school, went to college, and then before I finished my nursing degree, I called Mike up and I said, look, I really would like to do what you do. I'd like to work with youth, and I've been with him for 14 years now.
I met Mike in 1998 in the STEP program. He definitely kept me off the streets. I didn't have like a real mom or father kind of like growing up, and him showing me like ways to like cope with things, with pain, depression, anxiety. He's helped me a lot, and I love what I do now because of him, you know, so I'm grateful for him.
My youth are amazing. I mean, they're just amazing. It shows what young people can do when driven by the right thing. Every kid is gonna graduate. They don't know it yet. Every kid is gonna go to college or the military or have a job. They just don't know it yet. And that's the way my staff and I view every one of them. They're going to make it. They just haven't done it yet. How easy it is to write off young people in our society when the key to the care of our senior citizens could very well be those young people. So I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm the most blessed guy in the world. I get more rewards than some of you will ever see in your lifetime, your children's lifetime. I see kids graduate. I see kids help other kids. I see kids nurture kids who have been abused. I see kids who say, I will always be there for you. Wow. I see kids who say thank you. I can't tell you how many kids I want to say thank you to. I'm blessed. My name is Mike Ferrer, and I'm devoted to the growth of young people, to the development of young people who will be the key to the development of our community. How we treat our kids, how we devote time to our kids is going to determine the overall judgment, in my opinion, of our community in the long run.